I am 79 years old, and the house is very quiet today. 50 years, that is how long I was married to my husband, Thomas. He passed away 14 months ago. When you are young, 50 years sounds like an eternity. You think it is an endless ocean of time. You think you will have enough days to do everything, say everything, fix everything, and make up for every mistake. But the truth is, a lifetime slips through your fingers like water, and you don't even realize you aren't holding anything until your hands are completely empty. I am not making this to tell you a fairy tale. I am not going to talk about soulmates or destiny. I am sitting here, looking at his empty chair by the window, because I need to tell the truth about what happens when you let life happen to you instead of living it. I am speaking to you because I am running out of time, and you still have yours. We met when we were 22. We had absolutely nothing. We lived in a cramped, drafty apartment above a bakery in the city. The smell of yeast and burnt sugar used to wake us up at 4 in the morning. The heater rattled, the floors sloped, and the windows leaked in the winter. We were so foolish and so in love and so incredibly certain of our future. We used to lie on a mattress on the floor, staring at the ceiling, talking about the life we were going to build. Then, life started happening, the way it does for everyone. We wanted to be responsible. We wanted to be good people, good parents, good citizens. So, we put our heads down and we went to work. We bought a small house in the suburbs. We had a son, and then 2 years later, a daughter. Thomas got a promotion at the logistics company that meant longer hours and more travel. I took on bookkeeping work to help with the mortgage while managing the kids, the laundry, the meals, and the home. We were tired. We were always tired. But we told ourselves this was what adults did. We were building a foundation. We were doing the right thing for our family. We believed that if we just worked hard enough now, we would earn our rest later. I remember standing in the kitchen in my late 30s. It was a Tuesday evening in November. It was dark outside, and the rain was hitting the glass. Thomas walked in the door, put his heavy briefcase down on the floor, and slumped into one of the dining chairs. He looked exhausted. His shoulders were heavy. I didn't even turn around from the stove. I kept stirring the soup. I just asked him if he remembered to stop at the bank to deposit the check. He sighed, a long, tired sound, said yes, and went upstairs to change his clothes. We didn't kiss hello. We didn't look each other in the eye. We didn't ask about each other's day. That was how a Tuesday passed. And then a week passed like that. Then a month. Then a decade. The damage didn't happen all at once. It wasn't an explosion. It was a slow, quiet erosion. We didn't have a bad marriage. He didn't drink. He didn't cheat. He wasn't cruel. I wasn't cold or unloving. There was no great betrayal. We just slowly became a management team. We became two people running a small, stressful corporation called Our Family. We would sit in bed at night with our reading glasses on, the television murmuring in the background. We would discuss the gutters that needed replacing, or the children's dental appointments, or the rising cost of groceries, or the car that was making a strange noise. And when the talking was done, we turned off our respective bedside lamps and went to sleep. I thought we were being practical. I thought romance and deep connection were luxuries for people who didn't have a leaking roof and teenagers to put through college. I thought I was being a good wife by keeping the machine running smoothly. We had a favorite phrase. We used it all the time. It became the anthem of our marriage. When things settle down, we will start going on evening walks together again when things settle down. We will have friends over for dinner when things settle down. We will take a weekend just for ourselves when things settle down. When the kids are out of school, things will settle down. When the mortgage is finally paid off, things will settle down. When you retire, things will settle down. We deferred our joy. We put our actual lives on layaway, waiting for some mythical future date when all the chores would be done and all the bills would be paid. There was a trip to Italy we always talked about taking. Thomas loved history. He used to cut out pictures of Rome and Florence from travel magazines and put them in a manila folder. He kept it in his desk drawer. In our 40s, we couldn't afford it. The roof needed replacing. In our 50s, we finally had some savings, but Thomas couldn't take 3 weeks away from the office. He was too important to the company. In our 60s, we said we would go as soon as he retired. A grand celebration. We would spend a month eating pasta and looking at old stones. I still have that folder. The paper is yellowed and brittle now. We never went. Thomas retired at 65. We had a party in the backyard. His colleagues gave him a watch and a set of golf clubs. We drank champagne and smiled for the photographs. The next morning, we woke up and the house was entirely ours. The children were grown, married, and living in different states. The mortgage was a thing of the past. Things had finally settled down. The decks were cleared. The time we had been saving up for had arrived, but we didn't know what to do with each other. We had spent 40 years preparing for this moment, and when it arrived, we realized we were strangers who shared a mailing address. We spent the first few years of retirement bickering, arguing over how to load the dishwasher correctly, arguing over what to watch on the news, irritated by each other's constant presence in the house. We had forgotten how to just be together without a crisis to solve or a task to complete. We had spent so long talking about logistics that we had forgotten how to talk about ourselves. We had to learn how to be husband and wife again instead of co-managers. It was hard work. It took time. But we slowly started to find each other again in the quiet hours. We started drinking coffee on the porch. We started holding hands when we walked to the grocery store. We were just getting it right again. We were finally living, and then life played its final hand. He was 76. He started clearing his throat a lot in the mornings, a dry, persistent hack that wouldn't go away. He said it was allergies. He said it was the dust from the basement he was cleaning out. It wasn't dust. Sitting in the doctor's office, hearing the words, "Stage 4, I felt the entire room tilt. I felt the air get sucked out of my lungs. The doctor kept talking, drawing little diagrams on a piece of paper, explaining treatments and timelines, but the sound faded out. All I could hear was a high ringing in my ears. I looked over at Thomas. He was staring at the floor. He looked small. For the first time in his life, he looked like an old man. And in that fraction of a second, sitting in that sterile room under the fluorescent lights, everything became horrifyingly clear. All the arguments about the dishwasher, all the deferred trips, all the evenings spent watching television in silence, all the times I walked past him in the hallway without touching his arm, all the times I chose scrubbing the kitchen counters over sitting with him on the couch. The weight of it all crushed me. We had 14 months from the day of the diagnosis to the day he died. Those 14 months were the most intimate, honest, terrifying, and agonizing days of my entire life. The house fell into disrepair. The dust gathered thick on the bookshelves. The lawn grew wild and overgrown. The mail piled up on the counter. I didn't care. I didn't care about any of the things I had spent 50 years obsessing over. I dragged a comfortable armchair to the side of his rented hospital bed in the middle of our living room, and I rarely left it. We finally talked. We talked the way we used to talk on that mattress above the bakery. We talked about our 20s. We talked about our deepest fears. We talked about God and the afterlife and what it all meant. He apologized for working so much. He cried because he never took me to Italy. I apologized for nagging him about the gutters. I apologized for making him feel like a provider instead of a husband. I wept into his hands, begging for more time. We held hands for hours. His skin became paper thin and heavily bruised from the IV needles, but his grip was so familiar. It was the same hand that held mine when our children were born. I realized then what an absolute fool I had been. I had spent 50 years meticulously protecting our life, our finances, our home, our reputation, but I had forgotten to actually live that life with him. The night he passed, it was raining. A quiet, steady, gentle rain against the living room window. His breathing, which had been ragged and loud for days, just slowed down. It grew shallower and shallower, and then it simply stopped. The silence that followed was the heaviest, thickest thing I have ever felt. It pressed down on my chest until I couldn't breathe. It is a silence that has never left this house. I am 79 now. I am a widow. People come to the funeral and they tell you that time heals all wounds. They bring casseroles and they say platitudes because they are uncomfortable with your grief. Time does not heal all wounds. That is a lie told by the living to make themselves feel better about death. Time just teaches you how to walk with a severe limp. You learn to carry the grief because you have no other choice. You learn to make coffee for one person. You learn to sleep on only one side of the bed, leaving his side perfectly made. You learn to walk through the grocery store without buying his favorite cereal. But the regret? The regret does not fade. The regret is a physical ache in my bones. I walk through these empty rooms today, and I look at the things we bought, the things we traded our time for, the expensive dining table we only use twice a year for holidays, the crystal glasses gathering dust in the cabinet, the perfectly matched curtains I spent weeks agonizing over in 1995. I would take a hammer to all of it. I would smash every plate, tear down every curtain, and burn every piece of furniture in the front yard if it meant I could have one more ordinary Tuesday morning with him. Just one more morning. To look at him across the kitchen island, really look at him, and tell him that I love him. To ask him how he slept. To listen to him complain about the newspaper. But you cannot buy back time. Not with all the money, or all the apologies, or all the tears in the world. Death is absolute. It is a door that locks from the inside. You cannot apologize to a gravestone and expect a response. You cannot squeeze a framed photograph and feel it squeeze back. You cannot bargain with the past. What is gone is simply gone. I don't know who is listening to this right now. I don't know how old you are, or what your life looks like, or what problems you think are so monumental today. But if you are listening, I need you to hear me. Not just listen to the words, but hear them in your chest. Stop waiting for things to settle down. Life is never going to settle down. Life is inherently messy and chaotic and constantly demanding. There will always be another bill to pay. There will always be another chore to do. The laundry will never be completely finished. There will always be a reason to put off the conversation, the trip, the moment of connection. You think you have time. That is the greatest, most tragic illusion of the human condition. You look at your husband, your wife, your partner, reading a book on the couch across the room, and you think they are a permanent fixture in your life. You think they will always be there, just a few feet away. They are not. They are a temporary gift, a breathtakingly brief loan from the universe. One day, and you will not know which day it is, you will speak to them for the very last time. You will touch their face for the very last time. Do not let your marriage become a business arrangement. Do not let your partnership become a logistics meeting. Do not let your days become a mindless checklist of chores and obligations where the person you love most in the world becomes an afterthought. Put down your phone. Close your laptop. Turn off the television. Leave the dishes in the sink. The dishes do not matter. The dust does not matter. Go into the other room. Sit down next to the person you love and ask them how they are. Really ask them. Hold their hand. Notice the lines around their eyes. Memorize the sound of their voice when they laugh. Memorize the weight of their body leaning against yours. Forgive them for the small things, the irritating habits, the socks left on the floor. It is all so incredibly meaningless in the end. Do not wait until a doctor gives you a timeline to start appreciating the time you have. Do not wait until you are staring at an empty chair to realize how beautiful it was when someone was sitting in it. Because by then, all you will have left is a pristine, quiet house and the terrifying realization of how much of your life you wasted preparing to live. My days are very simple now. I wake up early. I make a single cup of tea. I water the ferns on the front porch. I sit in the armchair by the window, the one next to his, and I watch the neighborhood wake up. I watch the school buses go by. I watch people rushing off to work, looking stressed, looking busy, looking like they have all the time in the world. I am not bitter. I am not angry at the world anymore. I am just profoundly, deeply awake. I know my remaining time is short. The years are behind me now. I am making my peace with that. But I carry his memory and the heavy weight of my own delay with me every single minute of every single day. If this meant something to you, if these words stirred something inside your chest or made you think of someone sitting in the next room, don't leave a comment, don't hit a button, don't save this for later. Just close this video, get up, walk into the other room, and go tell your person that you love them. Do it right now, while they are still there to hear it.